Alright. Hey y'all. I don't know what this is called. I can't say welcome to Short Talks. I don't know if that's exactly what we're doing. But I just wanted to re-record yesterday's video, kind of give a take two, because I had my friend here and it was really awkward and I didn't really get the chance to talk to you all the way that I really wanted to talk to all of you. I was definitely just like all over the place, and as I usually am. And I just wanted to give you more clear and concise direction of where I'm going with this channel. Thank you all so much for tuning in. By the way, my name is K.Short, for those of you who are like, I don't know who you are. I've been doing YouTube for about 5 years now, and I haven't been consistently doing it because I have been trying out different things as a young, early 20-year-old person. And for me, the reason why I did all of that stuff is because I never wanted to look back and think, what if, right? So I have all of these goals and dreams, and you know, just like most of us do. And I just wanted to put myself in those places and spaces and how I can make them happen, you know. But I'm getting to a point where I've tried a lot of things, and everything from, right, like working in restaurants and working in coffee shops and working in retail, working in radio, doing interviews of people, hosting shows, all of these things like I mentioned in the last video, which I absolutely loved all of them. Yeah, I tried a lot of things, and a lot of it I liked. I liked a lot of it, and I just want to know how can I get, oh, there's a bug. I don't know what that is, but I don't want it to come in. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm not gonna hurt it, don't worry y'all. Give me 1 second. I don't know what it is, but it's fine. It's walking away now. What I'm trying to say is I tried a lot of things. And I just never wanted to be that person that wondered what if. And a lot of times that would get me in trouble, because I would even do that with romantic relationships. Don't want to wonder what if, so I go for it and I be vulnerable and honest, and it always bites me in the butt. Hopefully I'll learn that lesson sooner or later, but tried a lot of things, and I'm just coming back to YouTube because it's something that I absolutely feel like is going to be the gateway to what I actually want to do, which is build an organization. Essentially, I want to build an organization, and this has taken so much thought and so much process and so much experience to do that. And so I just wanted to explain to you all what I do have written down, because if you all seen my last video, like I said, I'm very like, what are we doing here? Like, I know what I'm here to do, y'all. And so I just want to give you all a heads up. As to those who've been a part of my channel, you know, I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of it. And I wouldn't honestly like keep doing this if it weren't for all of you. Like, if I knew that there were still people subscribed, like, and I think it may just be old friends who subscribed when I first started, or I don't know, but I just want to say thank you so much for continuously being subscribed and just being awesome and loyal the whole time. But I just want to give you all a heads up that I'm taking a different direction. And it's not going to be a big different direction. I think it's just going to be really bringing it all together, all of the experiences I've had, and being able to put it through a funnel. And so, as I told you all yesterday, I'm going to be focusing on a specific group of people, but we're going to be breaking down those specific identities. So that's why for me, it's just like, I don't want to tell you, hey, this space isn't here for you anymore, because it totally is. Because for myself, I don't just identify as this one type of person. I don't identify as just masculine. I don't identify as just queer. I don't identify as just a woman. I don't identify as just, you know what I mean, all of these things. It's all at the intersect of that, and that's what's important to me. But I know to understand our identities, we have to break it down. You know, it's like in anything. Like, if I have this big goal and vision to build an organization, I have to break it down to what the steps are, and they're all a vital part of the process. And so that's why I think it's so important for you to still stick around, because we're going to be talking about those things. But not only that, it would also give you understanding of certain things that folks like me have to go through. You know, a big one is going to public restrooms. That's probably something that you don't have to think about. But what does that look like to be an ally to folks that identify similarly? You know, so like, there's going to be a lot of empowerment in this space. Not only going to be empowerment for you, but it's going to be empowerment for myself to really own these identities that sometimes I don't. This bug is back. The bug is back. Go home. Go home. Go home. Don't come in here. Just go home. Jeez, go home. Yeah, it's going to be empowerment for me to really own who I am at this point in my life. I think for a long time, I was like, nah, like I'm not that much of this, and I'm not that much of that, or I'm too much of this, or I'm too much of that. Now it's just really owning it and moving forward with it. And like I told you all in my last video, I'm living here by myself, and so I have a lot of time to myself to really to really deconstruct who I am. And I think what's really prolonging my progress is not having a mirror in front of me, if you know what I mean, like not having other people who are going through similar experiences to share their knowledge and their wisdom about what they're going through in their life. You know, I've always told you all, like, for whatever reason, I've manifested, which is the hardest thing to understand. Like, I manifested this life for myself, like, and I'm exactly where I need to be. But the hardest part is, like, I don't have a mentor or a coach or anything. That's because I've manifested that. Like, that is the hardest thing. And like, even here and where I'm at in my current situation, why I'm not this influencer or whatever is because I manifested that, right? Like, that is the hardest bullet I've had to bite since I've moved down here. And so I just want to bring you all along for the journey, and just let you know that you're not alone. That has always been a prevalent point that I want to make for anything that I ever pursued, was letting people know that they're not alone. And maybe it's just a reminder to let myself that I'm not alone. But at the end of the day, like I said, I just want to be a mirror for people, to be like, hey, I see some of myself in you, and that somewhat speaks true to me, and like, I'm gonna run with that and do something with it. And so if I can at least bring people along and be like, yo, like, I know nothing, like, I absolutely know nothing. You know, don't get me wrong, I press a button here too, and I have like this mic, and like, it's been a long time to get to this point, but at the end of the day, like, I'm starting at ground zero. And when I say I'm starting at ground zero, like, I say that wholeheartedly, because the person who I was and who you all know me as, I'm very much still that person. But as I've been here in this new space and place, like, I could feel myself, like my old self and my new self, like, we're together. And like, now I could just feel them like tearing apart from each other. And I just feel like what's happening is that my new self is like, you gotta let go of these things that don't serve you anymore, like these things that no longer serve you, like when you care about what people think, or your idea about relationships, or, you know, just these things that just kind of held me back. Even my own self-talk, things that held me back, right? Like even my own mental habits and discipline, or lack of discipline, or just like the habits in general that I need to let go of. Like, I could feel my new self just like, look, we're gonna just take the good things about your old self, and we're gonna use it as a foundation, and like lay it down and lay it flat, and like start from there. Like, you need a new foundation, because the foundation you had like was broken and cracked and was not sturdy or stable at all. So what we need to do is just grab the good stuff that you really liked about yourself that you want to keep, and we just need to take some of that, and we just need to start and build from here. You know what I mean? And so when I talk about where I'm starting from ground zero, I told you all yesterday, I was like, I'm just a completely different person in the sense of like being a person of faith and being vegan and all of these things. The reason why this is so difficult is because I'm breaking generational chains. And what I mean by that is understanding that my family never made faith a priority, never made health a priority, never made finances a priority, never made mental health a priority, emotional health a priority, never made their dreams a priority, because they couldn't. They couldn't, because they didn't have the same privileges as I do. You know, they weren't born and raised in America, don't speak decent English. They just didn't have the privilege to think about freedom, to think creatively, to even just work on themselves. Like the fact that I get to be in Tucson and like just work on myself. Like, that is a privilege all on its own. Like, my family and my parents had to think about survival, right? Like, they had to think about survival based off of their decisions and having kids and like all these things, like whatever, right? Because that's all they had at the time. Those are the only options they had. But now, like, it's another generational time, and recognizing my privilege in this moment, being able to talk to all of you. Like, I just want, especially those of you who come from immigrant parents, like, I just want us to understand that like we're in such a space of like privilege. Like, we earned none of this, you know? So that's why when I tell you all like, yeah, I'm a masculine queen, blah, 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 like, you know, outwardly it looks like the cards are stacked against me, but realistically they're stacked up for me, you know what I mean? Because now it makes me more relatable to all of you. Like, there's a good chunk of those identities where it covers a lot of people on the internet and in the world, you know? And so it's like, if I can be able to just tell you, hey, this is what I'm going through as an immigrant, you know what I mean, a child of immigrant parents, like, they didn't get to think about that stuff. They didn't get to think about freedom, you know what I mean? And they didn't get to think about how to be creative. They didn't get to think about what they can do to work on themselves. Like, I get to do that. And so it's so important for me to get this done while I'm here in Tucson, because for me it's a social obligation. Thankfully and gratefully, they're not expecting that of me. They just want me to be like a good person and a decent citizen. And of course, the American dream to like take care of them. Whatever I do, they want us to take care of the family, right? Like when you're an immigrant, like you try your best to like send money back home, you know, and you try to, you realize you're in a better place than where you once were, so you want to give back. And so I think that's just inherently inside of me, of wanting to leave my family better than I found it, right? And not that it's bad, I have such an amazing family, but just thinking like, if I don't stop it now, like if I don't stop all of the generational chains of not being a person of faith or belief of a higher power, of not taking care of myself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, if I don't get my finances together, then this will continue for further generations. You know what I mean? Like, even when I think about my nieces and nephews, we're in the same generation, that's a long story, but it's like they don't think about this kind of stuff all the time, you know what I mean? Like, because they're in their own space, in their own place, and like they didn't do the same things I did in college, you know what I mean? So they just didn't. You know, so that's why it's really a big, important obligation for me, is to break this generational chain so my family doesn't have to go through it anymore. But the thing is I know so many of you also feel the same way. So that's why I want to bring you along and be like, look, I'm reading this book about financial literacy and how to freaking do a budget. Like, y'all, I've been graduated for 5 years. I still don't know how to do a budget. Like, I still don't know. So like, for all of my postgraduates, like, I just want you to know that you're not alone. Like, I still don't know what I'm doing, you know, like, and I'm struggling like out here in Tucson, like working these jobs, just putting this roof over my head just to come sleep at, you know, but really it's just a big old storage. Like, this is how deep this runs, y'all. Like, I can't tell you how much of ground zero I'm at. Like, I know nothing. Still don't know how to do a budget. Like, thank goodness for apps, because if I didn't have apps, I would not know where I'm at. You know what I mean? Like, I would just be like, I have money for food, right? And so I'm literally at ground zero. So what I don't know, I'm gonna be bringing you all along and showing you how I'm doing it. What I'm trying to tell you all is that we basically have a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. And I just wanna bring this into full circle, is understanding that, yes, I've been doing this for 5 years. Yes, I've been working very humbling jobs, so humbled. My goodness, and I'm so grateful for the experiences, my goodness. I'm just coming to the conclusion of like, what's the rush? What else am I here for? What else is the human experience for? If I were to become a millionaire by 25 or 32 or whatever, like what's the point of everything else? Don't get me wrong, like I'm gonna travel, I'm gonna meet all these new people and blah, 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 blah. But if I personally don't have impact on others, like if I don't help other people and, you know what I mean, empower them and let them, you know, feel like they're not alone, like I wouldn't know what to do with my life, right? Like this is all I've known up until this point, is just sharing my story and hoping that it relates to somebody else. This is literally all I've been doing. And not only that, just trying to create those spaces so people can also not feel like they're alone. You know, that's why everything that I've ever done, that's all it's been surrounded by, is just community. It's community and relatingness and connectedness and conversations and conscious conversations and awareness, and like it's all the same. And now it's just starting from ground zero and going into this with intent. You know, like I've done what I've had to do, and I'm just so excited to move forward with all of you. I don't know how long this is gonna take, you know, but at the same time, like I'm in no rush, because like what else am I gonna do? Like, you know, as much as like, oh, I would rather be making videos, I'd rather be editing instead of working right now, as much as I'd be doing that, at the same time, like I still have to live my life so I could come back to all of you and be like, today at work was tough. Like I just wanted to like flip a table and leave, which I totally wanted to do that the other day. And just share that with all of you when you're just working a job and you're just like, what am I doing here? I'm meant for so much more. And that's exactly why I'm here. Like I need to do this because I've been working and I'm just like, I just can't live my life like this. You know, not that it's a bad job or a bad place or anything or people or anything like that. It's just, I know in my heart and my soul that I'm meant for more. And because that's the purpose I want to create for myself. You know, like that's who I want to be in this world. This is the mark I want to leave. This is the imprint I want to do. This is the dent in the universe I want to make, is I want to use everything I am to help others become the best versions of themselves. And that's just me inherently being a teacher and a coach and a mentor. So this is for people that just have nobody to talk to.